following is an exclusive presentation of Ravens Productions.
Coming up on this week's edition of Ravens Report, we go all access to the Ravens' dominant win in South Florida. We sit down with Hollywood Brown after his historic debut, and we preview Sunday's home opener against Terrell Suggs and the Cardinals. All of that and more on this week's Ravens Report.
15-10-5, touchdown Ravens. They're dancing in the aisles. Oh, what a scene we have at M&T.
Family on three. 1, 2, 3.
Hey everyone, welcome to Ravens Report from the Under Armour Performance Center. I'm Erin Hawksworth. Wow, what a game in Miami. The Ravens offense exploded last week and established franchise records for the most points and yards in a game as Baltimore crushed the Dolphins 59-10. Lamar Jackson posted a perfect QB rating and was named the AFC Offensive Player of the Week after his 5-touchdown performance. Before we look ahead to this week's home opener against the Cardinals, let's circle back to South Florida and go all access as the Ravens turned up the heat on the Dolphins.
This is a chance now to see this new offense that they've put together, and they've worked on it. It's really started getting installed in March. Everything through the lens of Lamar Jackson.
There are a lot of skeptics around the league about Lamar Jackson and the Ravens offense.
Time to prove them wrong.
Time to stay angry.
Action Jackson, we ready for it, baby.
Get ready for what John Harbaugh calls a revolution, a new offense, a new season, a new era, and it all revolves around second-year quarterback Lamar Jackson.
We're going to go out there, we're going to execute, we're going to make plays, because that's what we do. That's what we do.
Gonna score! Hollywood Brown! And the Ravens are on fire!
Not bad for a running back.
Touchdown Ravens! Mark Ingram caps the opening drive of 2019 with a touchdown.
No, little boy, big boy.
Hey, this is a hell of a team effort, man. Each phase made their plays, and we went out there and won our 101.
Ravens on 3, 1, 2, 3. Right. Hey, we here.
Hell yeah.
We here.
Yeah.
Everything we train for, we here.
Yeah.
Let's play for each other, family. Hey, let's dominate, let's destroy, let's attack our opponent each and every play. We all we got on 3, 1, 2, 3. We all we got.
Baltimore will receive the first half kickoff.
Hey, fellas, they give us a ball. Let's go score.
So we will get a chance to look at the revolution early on. Give us to Ingram across the 20, breaks a tackle, 30. He's at the 40-yard line, midfield. Mark Ingram all the way down to the Miami 40-yard line. And the Ravens open the season with a 50-yard run. Give us to Ingram, right side, big hole, touchdown Ravens. Mark Ingram caps the opening drive of 2019 with a touchdown.
Big break. Big break. Okay. Hey, this big boy ball. You already know that. No little boy.
Offensive line stepped up. Mark stepped up. When you run the ball for 40-some yards on your first run from scrimmage, it's a statement.
Well, it's Ryan Fitzpatrick at quarterback for the Miami Dolphins, now with his 8th NFL team. Speed is the word here, not just on offense, but on defense. Fitzpatrick under pressure, sidesteps the tackler, heaves it downfield. It's intercepted at the 40-yard line. The Ravens have the first turnover of the season, and it's Earl Thomas who puts the ball back in the hands of the offense.
Right now, all the stuff they're doing is they're trying to just screens outside, get 27 the ball outside.
Jackson, play action, throws complete. Hollywood Brown has it at the 30, leg right to the end zone. They won't catch him. Touchdown Ravens. His first NFL catch, and he showed off that laser speed right to the end zone.
Oh no, Hollywood. Yeah, it's fast. I know though. Yeah, it's fast.
I said, oh, this tough.
Hey, I was smiling the whole time. As soon as, but that's slow. They're playing cover zero. It's over.
Jackson wants to throw, has all day, going deep, down the middle of the field, looking for Hollywood Brown. He's got him. Dolphins 30, leg race 20, and he's going to score. Hollywood Brown, his second touchdown on his second catch in the NFL.
Oh my God.
83 yards, and the Ravens are on fire.
Well, you want to talk about a way to start an NFL career. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns.
This is not an evolution. This, to John Harbaugh's words, is a revolution. Hello, Hollywood.
Oh, it felt good, you know, just to everything I've been through this offseason just to be out there and be able to make plays and help the team win.
I told you they're cheating like a dog. Willie, when you're running the ball like that, them safeties start creeping up there, that's exactly what happens. Now y'all just got to be able to go get it, and you were able to go get it.
Lamar Jackson, empty backfield in the shotgun. Looking to throw, has time, going deep down the middle. He's got Snead in the end zone, touchdown! Willie Snead on the receiving end. And the Ravens 4 for 4 possessions and touchdowns.
This kid, he couldn't have started any better than this.
Great job! Great job! Yeah! What a day! Keep it going! Keep the pressure on, man! Love you, man!
How about that down here for you?
Let's do that, bro. Let's do that, yeah.
They're starting to press now.
Yeah. Try to take a play out of your playbook, boy. Run just right by it. Keep playing with your emotions. Let's go, dog.
That Miles Boykin touchdown, Ravens!
Touchdown, Mark Andrews. And with that, the Ravens break the franchise record for the most points ever scored in a game.
How many wins does this count for? One. All right. How do you make one win really count? You get the next one. All right. You stack wins. That's what we start doing. We get the next one, the one after that. We got one focus and one thing in mind. That's the Arizona Cardinals coming to our place.
And now the Ravens get set to return home to Baltimore against Kyler Murray, the Arizona Cardinals, which will feature the return to Baltimore of Terrell Suggs. That will be a strange thing to see.
The numbers don't lie. It really was a dominant performance against the Dolphins last week. The Ravens were remarkable and hope to continue that performance this week against the Cardinals. Coming up next on Ravens Report, his first 2 career NFL catches both went for touchdowns. We sit down with Ravens rookie receiver Hollywood Brown next.
There's something special about coming home. Inside these doors, you belong to something greater than yourself, to something worth defending. It doesn't matter how long you've been away, whether it's been a week, a few months, or even years. This place will always be our home. And if you're not one of us, oh man, does our house get loud. Our house was built for these moments, built by these moments. And so are we. And we will defend what's ours. Oh, and for Sunday, we're redecorating.
Welcome back to Ravens Report, presented by MedStar Health. I'm Erin Hawksworth. Hooray for Hollywood. What a way to make your NFL debut. Marquise Brown's first 2 NFL catches were touchdowns, and he finished with 4 catches for 147 yards. When the Ravens drafted Hollywood in the first round of the NFL draft, they were hoping he would provide a little juice to the Ravens offense. And boy, did he do that on Sunday. Now the challenge will be to repeat that performance this week against the Cardinals. Here's Marquise Hollywood Brown with Evan Washburn.
Well, Hollywood, great to be with you. When you look at that first play and the first time you touch the ball, you take it to the house. And what you'd been through physically over the last, let's call it 6, maybe even more months, how did that play sort of cement the fact that this is where I belong and this is the type of plays that I'm going to be able to make?
It was crazy because, I know what I could do, and, you hear the talks and saying this and that about my injury, you're not going to come back and all that. But, I was confident, the trainers here did a very great job. So once I caught the ball, just did what I was doing in practice and, went and made a play.
When you and Lamar build this chemistry, we think, well, Hollywood hasn't played in a lot of games. He was late sort of getting going in training camp. But the chemistry seems to be at a place where, by the way you guys started, is already at midseason form. How's it come together so quickly?
I think the extra reps, they made sure I was conditioned. After practice, we got extra throws in, long passes, short passes. And then even when I couldn't run, Lamar just had me come to the park and, throw me the ball so I can get used to the speed of his ball. And, we just got to continue to keep building.
What was it like to be a part of that type of offensive performance? I mean, you come from a place like Oklahoma where every once in a while you might get an opponent and you put up a 50 number on. But that's not normal in the NFL.
Yeah, that's all I heard, that don't get used to it, it's not college. But, just to have a performance like that, it really felt like, I was back at Oklahoma, catching them long touchdown passes. But, wherever, however the game goes, it's our job to, be ready for it and, try to go out and score points.
You mentioned the ability to have that type of performance is rare. And then you look at week 2 and what you guys have in front of you. Mm-hmm. How do you, as an offense, put what was a record-setting day behind you, but also not lose sight of the confidence and what you were able to take from that game?
You take it in stride and you just stack days, We look back on that, we didn't play a perfect game. It's a lot of plays we left on the field. So we got to build on that and coming to this week, with a whole another mindset, go out there and attack and, do it all over again.
The opponent provides a great storyline for fans here when we see Terrell Suggs come back to Baltimore. But for you, there's also a chance to not go up against, because he's playing quarterback, but a guy that you spent so much time with and had so much success with at Oklahoma. How would you best describe Kyler as a player?
I think at this level, just his his dynamic playmaking. That's why they, brought him in, because, he's a guy that people gonna rally behind just, off his play. And if you get a lane, he's very fast. He can take off and, take one distance.
Hollywood, the debut was fun. Look forward to seeing what you got for an encore on Sunday. Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Last week's performance was a great start for the Ravens rookie receiver, and hopefully Hollywood will take the top off the Cardinals defense this Sunday at M&T Bank Stadium. Coming up next on Ravens Report, the Ravens Shield has long been a symbol of the strength and determination of Baltimore and the Ravens. Now it's come to life. We check out the making of the Shield next. Join the Ravens Huddle for 100 call to action on September 23rd. Join a team, pick a cause, and help us shape our community for the next 100 years. Plus, participants also have a chance to win tickets to Super Bowl 54. So register today at BaltimoreRavens.com/huddle for 100. Welcome back to Ravens Report. I'm Erin Hawksworth. One of John Harbaugh's favorite sayings is iron sharpens iron. It's been a rallying cry for the team for years, but it's also true for the Ravens Shield, which has long been a symbol of the Ravens' toughness, grit, and determination. Well, now the Shield has come to life and will be part of Ravens game day starting this Sunday at M&T Bank Stadium. But before the Shield was a finished product, it started out as just pieces of metal. Here's how the Ravens Shield came to life.
We're at Baltimore Knife and Sword here in historic Marriottsville. We primarily manufacture swords for Renaissance festivals and for theaters.
When we got this commission to make the Shield, it was a no-brainer. We had to make it awesome. There's lots of different ways we could have gone with it, but the logo for the Baltimore Ravens is already a shield, so it was pretty easy designing it. The only question was how we were going to make it. And because the Ravens have a very impenetrable defense, we figured we had to make it out of steel, heat treat it, make that shield as tough and durable as possible.
Looking at the original design, it was pretty obvious to me that the Baltimore Ravens logos have to be very prominent in the shield. So I utilized a more sophisticated technique known as fluting, meaning increasing the material. So I introduced a flute in the shape of a letter and then raised it higher and higher and higher. Now, those letters also introduce rigidity to the shield, making it even more impervious to physical damage.
So not only do we have to make the shield, we're also making a handle. Kerry's chosen to use a piece of Baltimore history, a piece of his old shop and clipper mill.
So this big bolt that used to hold a section of ironwork in the buildings of Clipper Mill that was demolished as part of that renovation. Ilya took that and forged it into the handle. Every time one of the Ravens reaches out and grabs that shield, they're grabbing a piece of Baltimore history. The coolest part of the whole process for us is kind of drawing in all the different craftsmen, but the visual certainly is the quench. We take that shield up to about 1550 degrees, so it's glowing.
Heating up steel to red hot, approximately 1500 degrees, excites the carbon contained within. And when you quench it or plunge it into cold water, it tricks the carbon to staying in those places, giving it a very hard, rigid structure that is very desirable in a piece of armor and prevents it from deforming.
Seeing it red hot, going into the water, and then coming out after the quench is definitely the payoff. You get to see it finalized in its shape, how it's going to be.
Solid metal shields with heavy embossing, fluting, as well as sculptural work are very typical of Renaissance Italian shield work.
Because of the way we chose to make the shield, it's actually not all that heavy. It's very light. And since we reposed the details on it, it gave it a lot of strength, and then we heat treated it. So it actually kept the weight down a bit, but it's still very tough, very durable.
The physical properties of the shield, the size, the weight, the thickness of the material are pretty identical to the ones that would have been used when made out of steel on a medieval battlefield. The shield is very resistant to hits, smashes, and cuts.
I'm definitely proud to be a part of something where, we're going to see this iconic shield. It's going to be something that's going to be a permanent addition to the visual that people think of when they think of the Ravens. They're going to see that shield as a symbol will be very strong for the fans.
Make sure you keep an eye out for the Ravens shield on Sunday around M&T Bank Stadium. So with all the excitement surrounding last week's win, we've barely even talked about this week's game against the Cardinals. Yep, Terrell Suggs returns to Baltimore, and I know the Ravens flock can't wait for that. Coming up next, we preview Sunday's Week 2 matchup. Welcome back to Ravens Report. I'm Erin Hawksworth. Perhaps lost in last week's 59-10 victory at Miami was just how good the defense played. Wink Martindale's unit held the Dolphins to 200 yards total offense and forced 2 turnovers. Now the Ravens defense will look to impress former Raven Terrell Suggs while also trying to stop rookie QB Kyler Murray. Garrett Downing looks ahead to the Ravens Week 2 matchup with the Cardinals as he sits down with head coach John Harbaugh.
Coach, congratulations on the big win. That was fun last week, wasn't it?
It was fun. It's always fun to win, and to win like that is great.
Do you give yourself any extra time to kind of enjoy that one?
No, there's really no time. The clock keeps ticking. The waves keep crashing against the shore. The biggest thing is to come back and improve. You're either getting better or you're getting worse. You never stay the same. And I guarantee you the Miami Dolphins will be a very good football team this year. They will win games. So anybody thinks that they're going to go through the season and it's going to look like that and that's what they are, they're mistaken. That was just a game. That's the way that game went.
Lamar Jackson obviously had a great game. 5 touchdowns, AFC Offensive Player of the Week. But my favorite part was what he said after the game. Not bad for a running back. What did you think when you heard that?
I heard he said it first, and then I actually clicked onto it, and I heard how he said it, and I just loved it. It was just classic Lamar. His head was down, and he just kind of made his point, and I thought it was a really good point. I appreciated it.
Yeah, it was fun. This week is going to be a little bit different. Every week, every game, you probably coach against guys who you used to coach. This one's different. It's obviously Terrell Suggs. You coached with him 11 years, a lot of good memories together. He told us this week that he honestly doesn't know exactly kind of what his emotions will be when he steps into that stadium. Do you expect it to be kind of any different for you in this team?
For me?
Yeah.
No. I think it'll be great to see him, and, we need to go win the football game. And I promise you, that's how he feels. He's going to come in here and try to wreck the game. And so we start feeling all, warm and fuzzy about the whole thing. Next thing you know, he's in our backfield wreaking havoc. That's not the idea. The idea is to get him blocked, not just him, Chandler Jones and the rest of that very good defense. So we have our hands full. We know that. It's not time for nostalgia.
All right, we'll say that for another day.
Yeah, exactly.
So one thing for this week, you're coming home, obviously, and when you play at home, there's an energy, there's a crowd there. We're trying to get people into the seats early. For fans at home, we want you into the stadium, and we want you there early. What do you expect just from that environment?
Well, that's what I'm excited about. I'm really looking forward to it. I think Lamar said the same thing. We want to see the place, filled up and blown out and bulging at the seams, and everybody excited and yelling and screaming and getting after it. And we want to make it tough on them. We want to challenge them with our communication. And that's what our fans can do for us.
It should be an awesome atmosphere. Coach, thanks so much for the time.
Appreciate it, man.
After the Ravens' huge win last week, the team couldn't be more excited to return to Baltimore for the home opener. This week's matchup puts two of the game's most exciting young QBs on display. Lamar Jackson's record-setting Week 1 got the Ravens off to a hot start, but Kyler Murray, he didn't do too bad himself. Murray led a Cardinals fourth-quarter comeback against the Lions and threw for over 300 yards and 2 TDs. The pair are both Heisman Trophy winners, but are now looking to prove themselves at the highest level. It should be an exciting game on Sunday. Thank you so much for watching Ravens Report. Enjoy the home opener, and hopefully we'll be talking about another victory next week.